This video is brought to you by Ghostwriters. What's going on, YouTube? It's Noxil, and listen, I promise you we are back for a double dose, and we got a special one on deck today. We're going to react to an unreleased Eminem song that you guys have sent to me. I've never heard it before. I couldn't be more excited about it. It's none other than the Apple. But before we get any further, I want to give a quick shout out to the Patreon guys. Listen, exclusive reactions and content on there, a great way to support the channel directly. Check out the Patreon. I'll put the links to it below. Also, shout out to the merchandise. You guys like the t-shirt, you like the hat, you want a signed CD, noxilmusic.com. Get yourself one for the holidays. Ho, ho, ho. Anyways, Eminem, step up to the plate. Let's go. One.
I'm a little nutty and I know it, but if you go back and take a look at my history, you will see that I am not the only one who's off his rocker. There were many before me. I was always labeled the black sheep of the family with a bad seed I grow to be. But if you take a look at us now, you see the apple didn't fall too far from the tree.
Alright, first and foremost, love how we just come in and he just follows the rhythm of the strings. Do, 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 do. And right there you hear on his last line for the bar, the strings impact at the same time. So he's just got a nice smooth synergy, and it's like faster singing. It's like sing-songy rap from this. And it's saying the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. What does that mean? Take a look at one's family. Take a look at what is close to that person, because that will affect how the apple is. If it's rotten at its core on the inside. And Eminem, what is he saying there? He's done cleaning out his closet. He's talked about his mom before. Dad wasn't there. We've got a pretty fucked up family to twist and create this person known as Shady. So what's Eminem saying? Like, you think I'm crazy? You think I got fucking issues? Hello, Mom. How are you today? Let's look at the family photo album.
I was labeled the black sheep of the family with a bad seed I grow to be. But if you take a look at us now, you see the apple didn't fall too far from the tree.
Oh, okay.
Look, I'm gonna tell you the story from my side.
This beat just took a total turn.
Maybe
Like this is menacing.
Check it out. You done witnessed unexplainable shit, too insane to explain. People run from what they just don't get. Maybe say they should've just hit him with a little bit. Did I spit too soon? Should I spoon-fed him it? But I was just so eager to prove I was even worth being in the same league or the room of the people of whom I was in. Every now
Oh, the people, I'm eager to eat it, eat. See how he's taking the E sounds and he really ups the cadence to highlight that on the internal rhyme schemes, man. You always talk about on this channel when we do the breakdowns, you talk about the greatness of M's cadence and how he uses that cadence to help him highlight the rhyme schemes. And when he has big cadence changes, that's often highlighting his internal rhyme schemes and him just connecting shit like a Lego just to make so much line up, man. Let's bring it back and appreciate it.
look, I'm gonna tell you the story from my side. Maybe you'll understand. Check it out. You done witnessed unexplainable shit, too insane to explain. People run from what they just don't get. Maybe say they should've just hit him with a little bit. Did I spit too soon? Should I spoon-fed him it?
It, shit, spit. So not only does he have the eager, hit him, shady, explain him. So he's got the E sounds and the it. E-it, and he's just finding so many different ways to either punch in on the it or punch in with the E's and just keep flipping it like A-A-B, B-B-A, A-B-A-B. So smooth.
This unexplainable shit, too insane to explain. People run from what they just don't get. Maybe say they should've just hit him with a little bit. Did I spit too soon? Should I spoon-fed him it? But I was just so eager to prove I was even worth being in the same league or the room of the people of whom I was in.
Man.
Now and then I look up like I was seeking approval. Was it because of the pigment on my skin, or was it a figment of my imagination? Maybe
pigment of my skin, figment of my imagination. What in like the relapse accents is going on right there? But that's not necessarily a relapse accent. That's just a different type of accent that he used to make that skin and imagination fit into his rhyme scheme. And should I have spoon-fed him? Should I have not gone all in on Shady? This is a man now reflecting on his past, reflecting on his legacy, and looking back on it. Did I make some mistakes on the way? Maybe. Did I have a chip on my shoulder? Probably. Was it the pigment on my skin? Was it because I was white?
Whom I was in. Every now and then I look up like I was seeking approval. Was it because of the pigment on my skin, or was it a figment of my imagination? Maybe it bothered me more than it did them.
Huh.
Maybe it wasn't a big deal back then, but
Maybe it bothered me more than it did them. When I was underground, no one gave a fuck I was white. But then all of a sudden when he became mainstream, then his skin color really became an issue. So here's an Eminem reflecting like, did it matter? Were the chips really against me? Or was it just a product of what was going on in my head and my own internal conflict? And did I make a situation bigger than it actually was and what it was actually meant to be?
maybe it bothered me more than it did them. Maybe it wasn't a big deal back then, but to me it was. See, what it was I developed a complex from being judged. Who spit his verse? Now I'm next to steal box. I'm in the booth staring back to see who's marks. I get a reaction from usually the first song was for proof, and the rest of the group backed them up. And no one lied to each other, cause none of us had deals. It was real. We just wanted tickets for that meal. Sometimes I feel like
there it is, man. You talk about the old D12 days, and this is Eminem taking us back when they were just trying to shine and hungry and just trying to make it. And he'd always get that backup and that first nod from Proof, and then the rest of the group at D12 would follow through. But for me, for Eminem, like he has this big realization, you know, maybe it's just all this turmoil of me trying to prove something. Whether my skin color mattered or not, at the end of the day, it still drove me. And that thought process and that way of being and feeling like I had to be the absolute best and I had to stand on the mountaintop no matter what, no matter skin color, no matter what I was doing. I think that controversy and that drive is what made Eminem who he is today. And that is ultimately the epitome of taking a negative, whether it's going on in your head, in the external world around you, and using that as fuel for your fire to flip it and to light the world back.
none of us had deals. It was real. We just wanted tickets for that meal. Sometimes I feel like it's just me. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. But take a look at my family, cause the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I said sometimes I feel like it's just me. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. But take a look at my family, cause the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Ever since my
I do like that sentiment, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. However, that hook, I mean, again, like this is unreleased, so it's not the final product. I feel like more could have been done to enhance that. Whether we took, you know, like on Not Afraid and we stacked a bunch of vocal layers to just like make it fuller and like fill out the atmospheric space better, because Eminem's not the best of singers. Or even getting like a haunting, tantalizing female voice on that hook, because it's still got a lot of potential in terms of the message and the meaning there.
look at my family, cause the apple don't
It's always hard to do these unreleased tracks because, you know, you're dissecting them, you're breaking them down, you're looking at them, but at the same time you have to realize that it's not the final product that we're getting because it wasn't released and it didn't get there. There could have been like a bunch more drafts, a bunch more stages before Eminem felt like it was ready to put out there, but it never did get to that point.
fall too far from the tree. Ever since my mother was pregnant with a second egg, cause she said that I had a baby sister who fell out of the window. I was too young to remember. Kansas City projects, I was like 5, 6, and how come? I remember Malcolm, Isaac, and Boogie if it was the projects in Missouri. Cause those were my best friends until Isaac took my tricycle and my Uncle Ty went to try to go get it back, and ended up getting jumped and cut in the gut with a switching 70-some stitches, which is
With a switching 70-some stitches. Man, that stop-start delivery and flow right there was smooth. And this is a new story I haven't heard. When M got his tricycle stolen, it was his best friend. And his uncle tried to get it back, and his uncle just got totally cut up there. And there was a lot of controversy again on Eminem. You know, what school I went to, what hood I grew up in. You know, what are my street creds? He rapped about this. He talked about this. And Eminem, Detroit connection. But there's still a lot of people who don't realize Eminem bounced around. He was in Missouri for a while, and now he's taking us back there. He's addressing these things. He's like, well, I'm getting told one thing, but why do I have these memories of these kids out in Michigan and shit happening there? So obviously, there's still some disconnect between what some people claim, oh, Eminem doesn't really have that Detroit credibility. No, Eminem still came through the Detroit scene. That's where he became famous. That's where he had a lot of his developmental years in Detroit. Coming from nothing, 8 Mile Road. We all know the story. But I've never really heard Eminem address like the Missouri side thing as much. So it's interesting now to get this side of the story and this perspective and this flip on things and what Eminem was supposed to have a sister. What? But he doesn't have a sister.
I remember Malcolm, Isaac, taking boogie if it was the projects in Missouri. Cause those were my best friends until Isaac took my tricycle and my Uncle Ty went to try to go get it back. And ended up getting jumped and cut in the gut with a switching 70-some stitches. Which is to this day when my mother still tries to show me some old fake picture of a fictitious little sister who never existed. And this is why part of my life so twisted. But I could never be as sick as that bitch is. And by the way, that bitch is one of my relatives. Sometimes I feel like it's just...
Wow. Just when you thought the story can't get any more darker and just totally convoluted, now we have his mom making up a child and a sister that never even existed and even trying to show M photographs and like prove it to him. Wow. That's just like taking your brain and just chucking it into the blender. That's just a new level of fucked up right there, isn't it? And I've never heard this revealed from Eminem. This is interesting because this is, right, when did this drop? This is after 2006, recorded shortly after the Re-Up album. So yeah, this is after the Cleaning Out My Closet times. This is after all that. Like, this feels like kind of a sequel to that a little bit. Because he just called his mom a bitch in this. Like, he's going in on this.
Bitches, and by the way, that bitch is one of my relatives. Sometimes I feel like it's just me.
Wow.
Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. But take a look at my...
Now I really do wonder why this wasn't released. Because Eminem has no problem releasing those raw, personal stories. And I just feel like this adds even more to the character development of this anti-hero that is Eminem and why he is the way he is and all the fucked up things he's had to go through and deal with. So really the apple, like I was thinking at first, like it could be going in on his dad too, but nah, this is just all in on mom with that apple falling from the tree. Mom is a tree, Eminem is the apple. Got to take a look at that tree and why I'm so insane.
But take a look at my family, 'cause the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You probably have to peel back layers upon layers of pain to see why everything I say is so insane.
That's a great line. You probably have to peel back layers upon layers of my pain. This is why I am who I am. This is the heart and soul of me. And then also peeling it, like peeling an apple too. Still playing off of that metaphor.
Peel back layers upon layers of pain to see why everything I say is so insane. What's the...
Apples and oranges there, Knox. What the fuck? Have you ever peeled an apple before? I don't know why I said that. It just like, it just fit in perfectly to the dissection. And I thought about it and I'm like, you don't peel a fucking apple. You just bite into it and eat it. What would the doctor say about that, huh?
Back layers upon layers of pain.
An apple a day keeps the doctor. Where's my brain going? Stop it.
Oh, don't fall too far from the tree. You probably have to peel back layers upon layers of pain to see why everything I say is so insane. What's different about my brain that separates me from other players in this game? On the surface it may seem like a scheme or some sort of scam for me to get some damn sympathy, but that's the last thing I need is for people to walk around feeling sorry for me. And I'm not a G, never claimed to be. I gave my best to Cassius, this whole beat. Don't need it more than me, but will...
Cash, man, whatever happened to Cassius? He was signed as shady. That was definitely the re-up days. He gave his vest. Eminem and his bulletproof vest. What was the story? So Eminem produced a favorite Jay-Z track of mine on his Black album, which is still one of my favorite projects to this day. Moment of Clarity. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. And when he went to record that in the booth with Jay, Eminem wore his vest underneath his shirt. And Jay said in an interview and was wearing that vest. So I think he's referring to that vest that he gave to Cassius. And I do like how he addresses the situation because he's like, why do I talk about these things? I'm not talking about these things because I want a sympathy card. That's the last thing I want. Like nothing about what I've done, what I've built in my life is about trying to get a sympathy card. It's just me trying to cope, trying to make sense, and also trying to explain to you why I am the way I am.
It may seem like a scheme or some sort of scam for me to get some damn sympathy, but that's the last thing I need is for people to walk.
That's the last thing I need for people. Like the way that he's got that like growling, aggressive M cadence throughout this, you know? It's measured, it's pacey, but yeah, there's just that aggressive undertone with it.
Feeling sorry for me, and I'm not a G, never claimed to be.
No, he's never claimed to be a G. Although we did do Soldier, and Eminem did go in like a G on that one.
That's the cash, it's this whole beat. Don't need it more than me, but we'll see. Cause we ain't looking for beef, but if it comes our way, what do we turn the other cheek? Come on. Sometimes I feel like it's just me. sometimes I feel like
I mean, that's Ja Rule. He still can't walk right because he's got that Oscar shoved up his ass. Definitely didn't turn the other cheek on that one.
crazy, but take a look at my family, cause the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I say sometimes I feel like it's just me, sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy, but take a look at my family, cause the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Yeah.
I just love that. Duh, 1, 2, duh, 1, 2, dramatic, clap, clap, dramatic, clap, clap. Just a very, really sets the tone, keeps you kind of on the edge throughout with that beat. And I think he definitely picked the right type of cadence to attack it with. And we talk about this, like M's cadence choice is always just, I love the way that he approaches beats, because depending on the beat and the sound and what's going on with the production, you get like a different sounding and a different type of Eminem. Especially early Eminem, he did such a good job of matching what was happening with the production. Sometimes nowadays he goes like super contrary to the production and does that just to create like these juxtapositions and like different sentiments. But here, especially, love the way he attacked this one.
Whatever.
Huh.
Let me be the crazy one.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest. I was really... I'm going to have to do some more research into this, and maybe you guys can comment below and let me know why this one never got released. I mean, what came out after this? Was Relapse the next one? This definitely isn't a Relapse track, so maybe it didn't fit on that album, and then maybe by then it was too late to drop it. Maybe it could have been dropped as a single. Feels more like a storyteller to contribute to the overall picture of an album, though. That's probably why it wasn't released, because I really like how, like, even me, we know I'm an Eminem fan. I mean, come on, let's not be silly about this, people. I wouldn't do Eminem so much on the channel if I wasn't a fan, if I didn't learn so much, if I wasn't inspired by the man. But it's interesting hearing this track for the first time and just trying to connect the pieces, because there were some missing puzzle pieces I didn't even realize were missing, that he just shared with his storytelling here and just showed us yet another side of him and some more stories about his mom. And I really find it very interesting to hear. It's like building up the biography of Eminem. So it's a shame that this didn't get released, that this wasn't put out, because I feel like, especially if that hook got worked on a little bit more, there's a ton of potential with that beat, with the subject matter, with the way that he attacks it. I like that. I'm glad we did it. Eminem, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Let's here at the end. Obviously, enjoy the content. Do me a huge favor, guys. Support the channel directly. Subscribe with notifications on. It really does go a long way. Join the Patreon. Support the channel. Exclusive reactions and content on there. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay positive. It's Knox Hill. I'll catch you again.